Alright, this is going to be a video of this 42-inch Canarm brand Carla ceiling fan that I got at my local Habitat Restore. I got it because I actually volunteer there, and for those who don't know, pretty much what I do for them is refurbish ceiling fans that they receive a donation, make them more sellable, run better, and presentable than how they previously came in. And without any further ado, I'm actually going to demonstrate the fan for all you guys and begin with the light kit. As you can see, this is functioning, and I'm using two 40 watt equivalent energy saving compact fluorescent bulbs in there. And the reason I'm using 40 watt equivalent ones is those were the only energy saving compact fluorescents I had that would actually fit in the fan. And I'll turn that off. Now for the fan itself, starting out with the highest speed. And looking at the black piece of tape, I put on one of the blade badges to indicate RPM. I'd say high is probably going to spin somewhere close to 145, maybe 150 once it gets to full speed. It really is not an impressive fan at all in terms of performance. It spins kind of slow, doesn't really push that good amount of air, and in general it's just a pretty low quality fan. Now the fan only uses a 153/8 motor in it, which is pretty much why it performs so badly. Next, I'm going to switch it to medium speed. And this is going to slow down to around 125, maybe 130 RPM. Somewhere in that range. And despite the fact that this is a very cheap fan, it is actually pretty quiet when it runs. There's a very slight bearing noise on the high speed, but other than that, there's really no hum of the motor or anything of that sort. And last but not least, the low speed, which I'll show with the fan and light on running simultaneously. And this is going to go at about maybe 90 to 95 RPM. Anyways, I'll turn the fan off here. And I'm going to be discussing some general information on it. The Carla is actually a relatively new model from Canarm. I believe it only came out maybe in 2010 or 2011. This particular one happens to be actually dated 2011, so it's probably one of the first actually made. And I know these are actually sold at Costco Canada, or at least online, and I believe Rona does carry these as well. Don't think Canadian Tire actually has sold these, or at least not yet anyways. Another thing is the fan is only dual capacitor. This struck me as kind of odd because usually Canarm uses triple capacitor motors, but I guess this one, they just wanted to make an economy fan with dual capacitor. I'm not really sure why. I guess they're just maybe looking to make a fan, geared towards the lowest price point. Another thing is the fan actually came as a duet, so there's another one identical to this that actually came in at the Restore. And both of them are the exact same thing, except one of them is a couple months newer than the other. I believe one's from January and one is from June or July, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, this leads me to the pros and cons of the fan, and what I would rank it out of 5 stars, beginning with the pros. Overall, it isn't actually a terrible looking fan. I mean, for how cheap it is, it does look semi-decent. Also, it is pretty versatile because the blades are reversible. One side is white, which is currently facing down, and the other side is walnut. As you can see, there's the walnut side. And personally, I do prefer walnut over the white. However, I'm actually using the white side because the fans suffered some blade damage due to the previous owners taping them up while storing them. Now, I would have definitely used the walnut over the white if it wasn't for this, because in my opinion, white on brushed pewter looks kind of cheap, but I'm kind of left with no other option, as the other sides are in terrible shape. Also, it can be installed with or without the light kit, and it can be downrod or flush mounted to accommodate different ceiling heights. As for the cons, the fan is very low quality, very cheap metal parts, extremely flimsy. Uses only a 153 by 8 motor is, I believe, which is kind of sad if you think about it, because some 30-inch fans actually use a larger motor than this, so really tells you about the quality or lack thereof on this particular model. Also, as you might notice, the pull chains actually aren't chains at all and are more pull strings. And this really struck me as odd because I don't know why Canarm would actually even bother using pull strings like this, because it's extremely cheap and prone to breakage. But like I said, I guess they just wanted a fan, for a budget market, as opposed to actually something that's quality and is going to last. Well, this actually leaves me to the ranking, and due to the looks of the fan and the fact that it is kind of versatile, it does help the ranking go up a little bit, but otherwise the fan does not really have much going for it at all, so I'd probably have to give it 2 out of 5 stars. I guess it just goes to show that with ceiling fans, looks definitely aren't everything. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and there's lots more to come.